Hello students, today we have to study the final stanza of the poem An Elementary School Classroom in a Slum. So we come to the final stanza, which is very forceful. In this stanza, the poet Stephen Spender is urging all the rich people of society to do something for the children of the slums. He is appealing to all the bureaucrats, the inspectors, the visitors to the slum, the governor to do something for these unfortunate children. He is canvassing to all the responsible citizens of society to contribute their bit to uplift these children. So let us now read the stanza. Please follow me. Unless governor, inspector, visitor, this map becomes their window, and these windows that shut upon their lives like catacombs break open till they break the town and show the children to green fields and make their world run azure on gold sands and let their tongues run naked into books, the white and green leaves open, history theirs whose language is the sun. Again, beautiful lines, phenomenal lines used by the poet in the last stanza. In this stanza, the poet is not totally hopeless. Like in the previous stanza, we have noted that the poet was very angry. He was showing his frustration and anger towards the haves. But in this stanza, he is appealing to all those haves, all those rich people. He has a tinge of positivity in his outlook. He is not totally hopeless, and he says that we know that the homes of these unfortunate children are like catacombs, like small graves. They are very teeny, crammed homes. And these children live in miserable and pathetic conditions. But unless and until the rich section of society, the governors, inspectors, visitors, they decide to do something for these children, the problems of these children cannot be sorted out. It cannot be alleviated. The sufferings of these children cannot be mitigated unless we, the responsible citizens of society, take some initiative to do something for them. So he's not totally hopeless. He's a bit optimistic, and he's making a frantic appeal to the haves, to the economically well-off section of society. He's asking the governors and visitors, the bureaucrats, to do something tangible for these children. Next line. This map becomes their windows, and these windows that shut upon their lives like catacombs. The poet is also saying to the rich people that the maps which are hanging on the walls of the classroom, the students, the children of the slum cannot relate to that map, and they find that map worthless and useless. But if the rich people take these children out of those slums, then maybe these children get an opportunity to see the outside world, and maybe after that they can feel some connection with the map. They can also feel themselves a part of the world map if the rich people take them out of those slums. And he is also appealing to the rich people to break all the windows of that classroom, the windows through which the children of the slum see the outside world, the filth, the dirt, the garbage of the slum. Those windows should be broken, because those windows are only showing negativity and bad things to these children, and those windows are restricting the opportunities of growth for these children. So those windows must be broken. This is an appeal which is made by the poet to all the haves of society. And the poet is also having a feeling that these children can be pulled out from their tiny catacombs. They can be taken out from their homes. And there is an urgent need for these children to be pulled out from their miserable conditions. And these children should be taken out to nature. The problems of these children must be addressed. So poet is frantically calling out to everyone, every sensitive citizen. And he's saying in the next line, Break, oh break open till they break the town, and show the children to green fields, and make their world run azure on gold sands, and let their tongues run naked into books, white and green leaves open, history theirs whose language is the sun. So through these lines, break, oh break open, you may notice that poet has used the word break twice. The figure of speech is repetition, and again in the same line, break, oh break open, there's an alliteration with the letter O. The figure of speech is also alliteration with the letter O. So by using this poetic device, the poet is expressing the urgency with which these children must be taken out of those slums. He is emphasizing the need, the exigency, the imperativeness to help these children to escape out of their confines of the nasty slums. So the poet is showing an urgency. He's he's saying that it's very, very imperative and exigent to take these children out from the slums so that they can achieve their dreams. He's imploring to all the richer section of society that these children should be taken out of those slums and taken out to green fields rather than allowing them to stay in those dim slums. You must take them out. So again, he's saying, break, oh, break open. From these lines, the poet is saying that let us break these barriers, let us break these impediments and pull these children out of those underprivileged and unfortunate conditions and show them the beautiful green fields, show them the beautiful nature. Why we must take them out to beautiful green fields? Because nature has always been our first teacher, and we must allow these children to run across the golden sand and look at beautiful deep blue sky, and let them learn from all these green fields, sands, sky. Let them relish all the beautiful gifts of nature. Let them learn from nature. Let them feel themselves a part of the beautiful creation of Almighty. Now again you can see that run azure on gold sands. Here azure means deep blue sky. So again a figure of speech, a poetic device is being used by poet here. It is known as antithesis. Antithesis means something which is opposite. So what does the azure, the deep blue sky, symbolize here? Because deep blue sky is exactly opposite to the foggy, dark and dim slums where these children are living. So deep blue sky, the word azure here signifies a very idyllic and bright picture which the poet is trying to give, which is totally opposite of the dark picture of the slum which the poet has portrayed till now of the slums. So it is totally opposite of the conditions of the slum. So this kind of bright picture will give the children a desire to gain more knowledge, a desire to brighten their life, and their thirst for knowledge, their want for knowledge will aggravate it if they see the open sky. And when they actually desire knowledge, when they actually want knowledge, they can absorb that knowledge. They will be able to absorb it. Until they have thirst for knowledge, they can't acquire that knowledge. Otherwise the knowledge is so much superficial. With knowledge which is being given to them through the books is so much superficial, because they cannot relate to that knowledge, they cannot actually absorb that knowledge, they cannot actually feel and realize that knowledge. So taking them out to nature will help them in developing their realization. Now again run azure on gold sands and let their tongues run naked into books, the white and green leaves open. Again you see this line, books, the white and green leaves open. Again the figurative device, the literary device, the figure of speech which is used here is white and green leaves. This is a metaphor. Here the white leaves refers to the books with white pages, the books from which we get knowledge, the normal books जो हम पढ़ते हैं जिससे हमें ज्ञान मिलता है, that is white leaves. And green leaves refer to the knowledge which we receive from greenery, the knowledge which we receive from nature, from our environment. So the poet is asking these children to take knowledge from books as well as from the clean and green surroundings, the nature. He is also appealing to the rich people to take them out to nature so that they may have knowledge from outside environment. Now the last line of the poem, history dares whose language is the sun. This is in fact the most powerful line and most beautiful line of this stanza, a line which is hugely optimistic and a line which gives a solution to all the problems, most of the problems which seem so gigantic, the problems of the some dwellers. So in these lines the poet says that only those who are truly educated, only those who are well read have the power to recreate their destiny. And the poet is sincerely appealing to all of us, he is canvassing all of us to educate these children, to educate them so well that they can one day have the power to recreate their destiny. It's only when they are properly educated they can get out of this trap of poverty, this trap of suffocation, and they can have the power to recreate a beautiful destiny for themselves. And he's also saying that people who make history are the ones who speak, think, feel, and enjoy the sun. It means people who make a mark in history are the people who are properly educated, who live in the sun, means who live in freedom, who live in liberty. Only they can create a history. So the sun here signifies brightness, openness, and light. So this is all about the last stanza of the poem, and I hope you have enjoyed the poem. The poem shows very beautiful images which are being portrayed by the poet in this by the use of esoteric language. So the message which we are extracting, which we are taking out from this poem is that it is only through education that most of the problems of the world could be mitigated. So thank you very much for your attention, children, and I hope I have managed to express my thoughts nicely to you, and I hope I have been intelligible enough. Thank you very much for listening. Have a nice day.